Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now, let's start with the first story. It's called No Carryover. I worked for a 24-hour news organization, so someone needs to be in the studio at all times. As a staff monkey, I had things like PTO and vacation time, which I usually didn't use too often, but we were allowed to carry over 5 unused days each year, as long as we used those days in the first quarter of the following year. However, the end of the year is in high demand for off time, because most people needed to burn unused vacation time they couldn't carry over. Management wisely makes sure everyone knows the policies and schedules December well in advance, so there aren't any last-minute converge issues around the holidays. Since I didn't use a lot of my PTO during the year due to build-up comp time and overtime, I generally used it the week between Christmas and New Year's and took about 10 days off around then. One particular year, I had 6 days left, 1 extra day, but since I already took off the time between Christmas and New Year's already, there literally wasn't a day left for me to use as a day off, as no one was left to cover a shift if I were to take off. I went to the scheduler and management and asked for either a one-time exception to carry over the extra day, and I'd take it on January 2nd, extending off time by 1 day. No go, I didn't do it with the required notice, or pay me 1 day's wages for the unused time, also a hard no-go. Since I had so much built-up PTO due to working holidays or comp time for overtime work, I had a ton of other days banked, combining my already booked holiday break with my 5 carryover days and the 10 new ones I got for the new year, plus some holidays that come in the early part of the year. I figured I was able to make enough time off that I would leave for my Christmas break on the 24th of December and not return until the last week of February, nearly March. And since I did it with enough notice, they couldn't deny me. They now have to cover about 2 months of my shifts. The next day, I put my time off in the system and emailed the scheduler a note saying, "Have a great holiday, I will see you in March." The day following, I received a call from the VP of the department asking me what they need to do. I said simple, "Let me carry over my extra day. I will use it on January 2nd. We have almost a month to cover 1 shift and we are all good." I got the carryover day and used it. The next story is called Meal Allowance. Many years ago, during a corporate merger, I was responsible for transitioning a portion of business operations to a distant city. I was there for 4 weeks, in an extended stay suite hotel, with fridge and microwave. I had a meal allowance of $50 per day and was required to submit a weekly expense report with receipts for reimbursement. After a long day, all I wanted was to get comfy, chill out, and fix something in the room to eat. On day 1, I shopped at the local market, spending $80, and day 4, $20. I submitted my weekly receipts for a total of $100 and was told I had exceeded the daily limit, and my reimbursement would be $70 versus $100. Finance insisted that $50 per day in receipts is max they would pay, even as I pointed out that the total was less than a third of what I could have submitted. They stood firm and refused to budge from the daily max. At the time, my most favorite coffee beans were only available for purchase in coffee shops located in selected areas of the country. As luck would have it, there was one close by. The name included cafe, as they also sold sandwiches, etc., and the receipt was not itemized. The last 3 weeks, I bought bags of coffee beans every single day. In their effort to short me $30, it ended up costing them $750. Classic example of a company being penny wise and pound foolish and jerking employees around. In spite of incredibly attractive financial offers to relocate and remain with the company, I resigned once the transition was complete. The last story is called Document Everything. There's my company and there's the other company, and both cooperate once in a while. In my company, I'm one of 2 people who have a monthly ticket for trams and buses. The rest travels by car. The other company is in the old city zone, where only cars with an official permit can travel and park. So if my boss needs any person to go there, it is my coworker or I. 2 days ago, he asked me, because I was around while the colleague was on lunch break. I was to deliver some documents. It is faster than hiring a courier, because a courier must take a package to the warehouse, where it is registered, and then goes out. So it could take a whole day if a courier picks it up late. And if my colleague or I go to the other company, it is only 45 to 60 minutes. The way my boss explained, I was to go to the other company, and they set a time interval of 3 to 3:30. So I was to leave around 2. My boss wrote an email when I was leaving, so they knew when I was to arrive. They confirmed, all was set. I was there just after 3. I was to leave the package. No can do. Their lady manager was to check it and then notify my boss if some documents are missing. I couldn't find her and I had to wait for her, because not one person in the other company knew which documents were in the package. But it's all good. She'll be back in 15 minutes. Not to worry, and don't tell your boss. That part was weird. So I grabbed my phone, wrote a message, something like, there's some misunderstanding. Sending email, then a detailed email with description, but not blaming the other company. I explained what they told me. The timestamp was 3:03, so I was definitely not late. What was even more weird, my boss checked the reply from the lady manager. She confirmed, not an employee, the lady in person. So I sat there, grabbed a book on my phone, all perfectly fine. Some 30 minutes later, my boss asked if I delivered the documents. No lady manager around. I asked, and they weren't allowed to call her. But there's no need to notify my boss. They were sure she'd be here any minute. So I wrote another text. No lady manager around. Sending email. Added detailed description, including their statement. They weren't allowed, and kept waiting. Next 30 minutes, no lady boss. My boss called them. They pretty much repeated what they kept telling me. I added another email. Boss, I listened to your conversation. They aren't happy, but I couldn't wait outside. They insisted I was not to wander around with the documents. Good, not a problem. Do what they suggest and notify me immediately. So I kept waiting. They wanted to get me something to drink. I declined. Wrote to my boss. Got an email back. Close to 4:40, the lady manager barges in. Why wasn't I earlier? I grabbed my phone, read the timestamps, read the email with set conditions. She went reddish purple, got the package, sent me on my way. I'm sorry, I can't go. I was told repeatedly that she was to check if documents aren't missing. She insists. I write a text to my boss. She doesn't want to check documents. Sending email, and I read the message. She was not happy, but at last decided to check the documents. I thanked her, waited for her email to my boss, and wrote another email immediately, left only when my boss wrote back that she really confirmed all the documents were in the package. Later, she contacted the owner and blamed us. So it was my luck that I wrote all the emails. When the owner called my boss all furious, it was easy to deliver copies. My boss asked me today to his office and let me read emails to and from the owner of the other company. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't be allowed to read it, but the lady manager insisted we did something wrong, especially me. And as it was also about me, I was to read this, even if I wasn't the recipient. They also asked me to print the emails directly from my email account and screenshots from my mobile, plus write a detailed note from all of this, including timestamps from my emails, which I did. I don't know what it was. A weird power play? A way to discredit the other company? Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.